Kenny here with Gardening Simplified. We're out in the workshop today and we're going to do a fig propagation update. It's January 25th, I believe. It's about 10 and a half weeks since we started our first figs. So let's take a look. Now I've started going through and some of these, now this, you can see it's starting to put out roots up there. This is a Madeira. Black Madeira KK. Now this was started January 17th, and we're going to go ahead and pot that up. As you know, I don't wait for tons of roots. They seem to do better when I don't, or seem to do good. This here is a LSU Gold. This was started a day later than that other one, and it's putting out roots there on the side. And we're just going to go through here. And we're going to check a lot of these. This is another Black Madeira starting to put out roots on the bottom. That might give you an idea of how long it takes. Now, I kept wondering about these LSU Gold because they put leaves for a long time, and it took them a lot longer for their roots to show. But now they're starting to get to that. Some of them some are just more vigorous than others. And what I'm going to do, I usually leave a few out, so I just start rotating these down. Now, this is a Texas Everbearing. This was November 16th. Now you can see it's putting out leaves, so it is viable, but it's taking it a long time, and sometimes that's what you get. You just keep wondering if they're even going to go. Now, I did last Sunday, which it's Wednesday now. I check them like twice a week, but I did take out a lot, so my averages went down because a lot of those first ones that ended up with a situation with whatever fungus that was rotting the sides. This is one that I'm really wanting. Now I'm going to wait on this. It looks like a root right here, but unless I'm really sure. I had a problem last year with the Socorro, which I've said that before. Some of these, like this one here, I think this is one that I'm probably going to give up on pretty quick. It looks like it's kind of drying out. But I'll just continue to go through and check these out and get the ones that's really starting to get roots. This is an Italian 258. Now, they seem to be really slow to root. I don't know. And a lot of times it's not so much the variety, but it might be the tree that they come from, the cutting. There's so many things that could be variables in there. But I don't try to figure it out. I don't try to get all technical. I just try to grow these. Now, these are pretty moist from the last time. Here's another LSU Gold that's putting its roots out. So we'll get some of those. I did pot one of them up Sunday. Yeah, these Socorro, I just really, I really want to get those going. You know, you hear about a fig and you just want that variety. And I hate to lose anything. This is another Socorro. They're showing signs that they're going to do great, but they just ain't there. There's another LSU Gold, and it's starting to put out its little roots. But like I say, some of these varieties, like these Italian 258s, that's one of the varieties that I'd like to have. I've heard a lot about it, and I think that I need it in my collection. But we'll get another one. Now I went to these shorter totes. I wanted to have more airflow around the top of these, and I do have some deeper ones still, but I'm going to start changing out and propagating in these, so it is a little bit more airflow. Now this Brooklyn White, this is a new variety that I've got. It's starting to leaf out, but it just hasn't quite got there. This is another one of the Texas Everbearing that was planted. These were some of the first ones back in November, and they still, I mean, they're starting to come alive, but they just aren't there. A lot of those earlier ones, that's when I had the problem with the I think some type of fungus in my mix. Now, see, this is one of them. Now it's just now starting to pop out a little bit of green there, but I had some fungus in there, and it attacked the cutting itself, and it wasn't because they were too wet. It was just that it was in there, and maybe airflow was some of it, but whatever reason, it sure did affect a lot of them. Yeah, if they don't have leaves, I'm tending to give them a little more time, even if they have roots. It seems like I've got some that's out in the greenhouse, and I might have to go back and do something with these. Now these have just been watered, or on Sunday, so we won't water. Here we have another green Ithaca, and it's starting to put out some roots. Those have been quite a while. Those are November, when they November 22nd, I think. Yeah, that was done up, and it's just now. Some of them put out roots real quick, and some don't. And that's the thing about fig cuttings. There's so many variables in there. You just hope that they survive and put out. And there probably are some better methods. Now, see, this is not looking good. You can see that the leaf is drying up here. This other one's kind of drying. The soil is moist enough, and it could be that we have an issue with fungal gnat larvae in there. We've been drenching these regular, so we can keep them down, and trying to watch for the larvae. That one is, this one was a brown turkey that was started not quite a month, well, just about a month ago. And some of these they're getting close, but they're just a little slower, and a lot of that might have been because the season, we had a freeze, and they go dormant, maybe freshly going dormant, and then have to start back. But we'll just continue to go through these. A lot of these are not that old. These are about a month. They're just now starting to shoot out, which normally, in most cases, I say about 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks, they start coming out. But sometimes it's a lot longer. Like I say, you see the ones that's that's just coming out, and they're just about 3 months. Well, I say 3 months. They're back in November, so we got December and January, so it's about 2 months. So there's not anything to figure that's wrong. Just some cuttings come out quicker. But I'm going to go through the rest of these, and then we'll see what we end up with. With these cuttings, and I'm going to drench these down. There's a few that have signs like they might have still have an issue with fungal gnats. And when you get something that's like this, you can see this has a fig on it. Sometimes that's what they want. Just pull that off. It's just going to stress it, and that could be why this one's dropping some leaves, was because it's trying to produce fruit. You want to make sure that that doesn't have anything that's going to cause an issue of it, to where it doesn't form roots and stuff like that. So it takes some of the stress off it. And this possibly too could be trying to produce fruit because it is stressed. It could still have fungal gnats, so I'll drench these down, and then we'll see where we're at with the rest of these. Now, these are some we still have in the tote with the high sides, and partially too, what I think it keeps it a little too humid on the top. I do want to talk about one thing. Now, I had ordered some grafting tape, and I ended up with this, and I said I would try it. But what this is it's almost like a saran wrap that's in a little row. It doesn't stay connected good. It's not, and whenever I put in the search, I put in parafilm, and I didn't watch it close. And you'll want to do that anytime you're ordering something, because there's so many people that's got some product that's supposed to be, or they want to sell it, but it's not really what you're looking for. So that's the thing. Now, this is one I'm really waiting to get roots on. This is a Peter's honey. This was one that I wanted. Now, this was December 16th, so it's not that long, but it is leafing out, which is great. That's good sign. There's some roots in there. And we have some of these. This is a Chicago Hardy, and these Chicago Hardies really putting on leaves, but I just don't see the roots coming out. I ended up, out of the ones I propagated last year, I only ended up with about I think maybe 1 out of 5 that actually survived and is in the ground now. It was late. I'm thinking maybe April whenever I got it, so it could have possibly been an old cutting too. But I was really looking forward to a lot of these varieties. You know, people talk about them and how productive they are and such as that. And I was waiting to see that production. And then again, some of these, when they're late, it's because maybe they're fresh cutting, but they could only put out a breva crop. I'm not sure that Chicago Hardy's that way, but that's just something to say. So, you know, being they were started late, they might not had that first crop, and the plants were really small. Well, there's another LSU Gold that's got its roots out. This has been about 5 weeks, so it's really kind of a good thing as far as it's coming out quick. I do worry a lot when I start having leaves drop off of of plants, and I went through here and I had cleaned out Sunday. I think I cleaned out 18 that were from the first batch that I knew they weren't going to make it. They were just stressed out from the fungus, and then they had bad fungal gnats coming in again, and so I started a program to try to stop that. This one is just a little bit of roots on this cadota, but I'm going to go ahead and leave that a little bit more. Sometimes they tend to fall apart when I pot them up, and I don't want to end up with on some like that they don't survive because I potted it up just too quick. And that's kind of a judgment call when you do this. But anyway, I'm going to go through the rest of these and we'll see what we got. Okay, this has been a pretty good day as far as it goes with our propagation, because I didn't have to throw out any. I've got plenty of them here with just starting to do their little rooting in thing, so I'll pot these up. I have 9. But even with that good success today, that last Sunday, I ended up with about 18 that I said just aren't going to go, and I checked them, and the fungus had removed the bark and stuff from them, and they just weren't going to be cut off and replanted to be viable. They were pretty much dead. So that puts us to where we have 91 that survived the propagation, and we had lost 111. So we're still way below the 50% average, which 50% isn't even good. So, but we're going to learn from this, and we're going to continue to see. I know our average will come up because we've got rid of most of the ones that's going to not be viable, and we'll continue to go. If you want to follow along and see how we end up, well, then of course hit the subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Hit that bell and click all, so you'll make sure you get the notifications, and give it a big thumbs up. As always, just enjoy growing stuff.